Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, I am Madhu Mishra. I'm an integrated PhD student at ICER Trivandrum, and in this channel I make videos about research life, life in ICER, and a lot of tour videos. So if you're interested in such kind of videos, please do hit the subscribe button and let me know what you feel. And if you have any queries about research life and how to choose a career in research, please comment down in the comment section below, or you can DM me on my Instagram where I answer all your questions. So before further ado, let's just start. So I'm making this video after I'm posting anything in my YouTube channel of almost after 1 month, and the reason behind it is that I'm finishing up my PhD now. So this last month has been crazy because I gave my pre-synopsis this month. So pre-synopsis is basically the presentation that you give before submitting your thesis, in which you have to tell the committee members how you're planning to write your thesis, all your chapters, and how you plan to write introduction and everything, and also explain the research that you did in last 5 years, and all that in 45 minutes plus 15 minutes of question answer. So that is what I was doing. I made a presentation for 45 minutes, which was extremely difficult because I have worked in 4 papers, and 3 of them are published. One is going to be in archive very soon, and all of them are finished, and all those things in 15 minutes was a crazy task to do, and that is why I was very nervous. And not just the work, in the presentation you have to give the introduction, overview of the research area, basically the literature surveys. Somehow you have to explain them how your work is relevant in future direction and where it comes from. Okay, so you have to motivate them, give them the overview of your research area, and then explain your work and its significance. So I divided my presentation in 3 parts. First was introduction and motivation. Second part was formalism, where I explained the techniques that I have learned which were useful for me to obtain the results that I have. And the last section was where I explained all the results that I have. So I divided into further subsection, basically into 4 papers. So it is easier, not easy, but easier if you have a one umbrella goal, and then you publish papers according just for one umbrella goal. But if you are working with 2 different collaborators and with 2 different motivation, then presenting it in 45 minutes is extremely difficult. That was the case with me, because in 3 papers I worked with my supervisor, which is Dr. Bindusar Sahu, and we worked on high derivative actions, which is basically the action which is useful to obtain subleading corrections to the black hole entropy. So we constructed those actions in 2 different supergravity theories, and with another collaboration, the collaboration happened in most amazing way. That story I'll tell you some other time. But in other collaboration, I collaborated with Dr. Amitabh Virmani on thermodynamics of ADS black hole. These 2 works are different, and initially I thought that the work with Amitabh will not go on my thesis because it's completely different from what I have worked on, like in my PhD as a PhD project. But my supervisor suggested that I should include this work as well in my thesis, because it gives a basically nice it's nice if the reviewer who's going to read my thesis will see that I have worked on 2 different projects with 2 different collaborators. I have worked with someone who is not my supervisor, so it's a good image basically. So he told me that I should include this paper, and also I should find an umbrella goal which connects these 2 papers. So that was a task, and that took a lot of researching, lot of reading papers, which was amazing time when I was reading papers. So that was done, and that is why this explaining everything in 45 minutes was a task. Now I am going to show you the clips of the last week when I was presenting these, when I was preparing the presentation. So basically you see me writing the presentation. I made the presentation on latex, and I will also show you some slides which I thought was very beautiful coming from latex. I didn't make any presentation on PowerPoint. I always make presentation on latex because I write a lot of equations usually now. So the presentation looks very aesthetic. So if you like how I make my presentation, let me know on the comment section below. At some point I'll come with a tutorial and explain you how I made those presentation, the color scheme and everything, which is not the default or the theme that is given in latex. So let me know of that. And let's dive into the last week. So my presentation is ready and this is how it looks. This flowchart I made using pics in latex, so they look very nice, and I chose the aesthetic colors, not usual red and blue. And yeah, so this is the title for my first paper, this will the title for my second and third paper, and this one is what I did with Dr. Amitabh Virmani, and I like how coffee comes inside the black holes. And yeah, so now I'm going to read some other relevant theses, which are so basically to how to frame sentences when I'm talking about my presentation. So I'm just reading little more so that I'm well prepared. And yeah, so the day of the announcement has come and I got the email from my supervisor. So that's the announcement. The announcement has been made for all the physics people that I am going to give my pre-synopsis on tomorrow. Basically, it's on 10th October. And I've written this pre-synopsis talk. So basically, because I have this issue with how to communicate during presentation, what I do is I usually write what I'm going to say there. At least for first 10 slides, I will write each and every sentence. Although I won't say the exact same thing, but I will write it and I will practice it. Yeah, I'm really happy here. I'm trying to capture this day. Tomorrow is the day when I'm going to give my presentation. I'm happy, nervous, everything. So this is my friends making fun of me, and so we went for eating And also we went out and we saw this monitor lizard outside the physics building, and this is ICER life. And yeah, the night I had masala tea, we ate some Maggie, and the day of presentation came. It's the only known theory which provides microscopic description of black hole. In fact, the first microscopic entropy was calculated in string theory by Strominger and Buffer. To answer all these questions, we need a quantum theory of gravity. And the string. So basically, okay, so what happened during the presentation? I started well. I gave my introduction was nice. I decided that I will give my introduction for 20 minutes at least, because it has a lot of things. I have to basically motivate both the works and also connect them both. So I started well, and there were a lot of questions also during the introduction from my committee members, because I was introducing this connection for the first time. So there were a lot of questions which I really enjoyed, because if there are questions, that means you're presenting it in a way that people can understand and ask questions. And the questions were not like what is that and what is this. The questions were deep, so that was interesting. I somehow explained them. I don't know how I did. According to my supervisor, I did okay, I did well, and I could have done better also. I explained more than I should have. That is why he wanted me to be precise, so that I reduce the time that I took during explaining the question. Because of that, what happened that because I explained a lot, I took a lot of time. So after the introduction was over, I looked at the time, which I should not have. I looked at the time, and I had taken almost half an hour, and I had just completed one section of my presentation, and there was formalism was left, and all my papers were there. So I panicked, and after that I rushed, and I think I couldn't explain the formalism the way I should have. I have given this sort of presentation, the formalism presentation, in ICTS, and I think I did well there, because I had no time pressure. In ICTS, I was told that I can take more than 1.5 hours if I want. So I explained it very calmly, and I took my time and explained it everything. And here, because I had a number of slides in my head, and I knew that I had a lot of other things to explain, I rushed through the formalism. And after the formalism was over, I think again I came back on track, and I explained my work pretty nicely. But the formalism part, I think I screwed up, so I'm not happy. Although people said it doesn't matter, it was nice presentation, or your aim should not be to explain it to a general audience, because the synopsis and thesis defense is something that is very, very specific. So the talk is not meant for a general audience. If they ask questions, so you should explain like you're explaining to an expert. But in my presentation, I saw a lot of familiar and non-familiar faces, people who have just joined ICER, and people very junior to us, like integrated PhD, MSc students were there. So in my head, I was thinking that I'm not able to explain them the formalism, and I think that was a wrong thing to think about, because the formalism that I was explaining, it took me almost a year to understand all those things. So how can I explain them in 10 minutes, right? So because it's very connected and very mathematical, and a lot of things goes behind that formalism, and so I should not have taken that pressure on me. And because I took that pressure, I looked at people's faces confused, so I got a little anxious, and I panicked, and I think I kind of screwed up. I rushed through it for timing also. So a lot of things happened in those. So for 10 minutes, I think I messed it up somehow, and after that I again got back on track and explained my work. And I was happy that I was able to answer questions, which was important to me, that I should be able to explain my work at least. So that I was able to do. The only problem that I still have is my presentation. I made an amazing presentation. People really liked the way I planned the presentation, but the communication thing is where I lack. So I have to work on it. I know that I have improved a lot. I remember my first presentation when I couldn't even speak for 15 minutes, but the 45 minutes was less for me. So I have improved a lot, but there is a still long way to go before I I can say that it was a good presentation. There were good presentation before this pre-synopsis. I gave few good presentations, but all those, the common thing between all the other presentation which I thought was good were that I was presenting it to the people from high energy community, or the professors, known professors in high energy community, people who knew about supergravity and all those things. So I didn't feel that they are not able to understand what I'm saying, so I had that confidence, and if they asked something I could answer it. And here, because I was looking at these people's faces, I thought I'm not able to explain. I kind of got anxious, and also there was a time issue. Lot of things happened, so I screwed up for 10 to 15 minutes, and which I thought were not good, and then again it happened. So this is how the presentation went. I'll come with tips and tricks, do's and don'ts, maybe after I give my thesis defense. First I have to see the do's and don'ts, if they work for me, because I have it in my mind that what I did was wrong and what I could have done, but I have to first apply it on me for my thesis defense, and if it works I will come and share it with you. And thank you for being here, and thank you for asking questions. I have a lot of questions in my DM. I thank you so much guys for supporting. I have a lot of positivity in my comment section also, so please just keep continuing your love. And I can't promise at this point that I will come with regular videos, because everything is crazy these days. Everything is crazy now. After pre-synopsis you get 2 months to finish your thesis and submit it, and go submit your thesis basically, and which includes 15 days or 1 week, at least 1 week, which library will take, and 1 week that your supervisor will take to verify your thesis, and if there is a modification needed. And because I have to join CMI for my postdoctoral fellowship from 1st November. Actually, I got my offer in January, this January, and I was supposed to join in September, but it got delayed because of my 4th work, and we said that I'll join on 1st of November, but so I gave my pre-synopsis on 10th of October, and I had only 20 days to finish everything up, which is kind of impossible task, because and also I was not in a good mental health space. I was very getting these anxiety, lot of anxiety during my sleep. So, and also I had a lot of pressure from my home to come back, because I have not been home for 14 months, and so there were a lot of pressure. So I took a break. I gave the priority to my mental health, and I went home for 10 days, and I came just next day of Diwali on 25th. I went on 12th, I came back on 25th, and then I have finished writing my thesis. Now my supervisor will read it. If there is a modification needed, he will tell me what to modify. I will modify, then I'll give it to the library. They will check for the plagiarism. If everything's okay, if they give me the green signal, then I'll submit it to the academic office. And also one of the reviewer has asked for a hard copy, so I'll have to get that print, and then that also I have to submit it to academic office. After that I can go and join CMI, Chennai Mathematical Institute, for my postdoctoral fellowship. Or that story I am just keeping it short. I will explain everything in some other video, but for now this was the pre-synopsis experience. And right now I'm very pumped up, because I gave my presentation, and this thing I'm telling you after 20 days, right? Today is 30th October. I'm explaining this story after 20 days. I still feel this severe pain in my gut about when I think about the presentation and what I did. So imagine what I was feeling when I gave when I came out of the presentation. I wasn't happy, and so I couldn't record anything. I had recorded the previous part, like days coming to the presentation, but I couldn't talk to the camera after the presentation. I needed to go home, so I went home, and now I'm back. I took a week. I finished the work. The 4th work is done, so we will be submitting it in archive very soon. And yeah, that's about it, and hope to see you very soon in next video. I can't promise when, but the next video is going to be about my 10 days in home after 14 months. So hope you like the video. See you. Bye bye.